really tempting me. The world isn't fit for this. I like shaking my fists at the sky. Can you hear me now? He can't hear me. The sun has been blocked out by the clouds, unfortunately. Oh, man. I saw the first goose. Can you believe that? Me in the future, and also the audience, technically, in the future. Can you believe that? I saw the first goose. It was just right there. It was crazy. My eyes launched for a second. I was in fight or flight mode. We were about to roll initiative, and then I left. I didn't challenge him. And you know what? I think that's respectable. I think the goose was minding its own business. There's, I think these geese get a little bit of a bad rap. I'm in the saddle and I want to get off. uh, what am I even gonna talk about, man? I have a few things, but I'm like, this is abysmal. My head is, it's like crushed between two rocks right now. I feel like my skull is gonna cave in at any point. I feel like that one guy, uh, who was trapped between two boulders by his arm, and he had to rip it off or eat it off or whatever the hell he had to do. How did he get through the bone? That's what I want to know. Like, was it just like bone marrow? Was it just bone marrow? Uh, I'm in pain. Maybe, perhaps. Listen, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through this. No problem. You and me together. Together, we're gonna get through it, and we're gonna win. And we're gonna win, and we're gonna defeat them all. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna defeat them, and it won't be an issue anymore. Because I don't know. Oh, man. See, being sick is just not efficient, I think. What a flattering picture. God damn, look at that feller. I wonder if I could take a similar one. Let's see. Let's add a funny filter. Here he come with some from me. Freshly taken from banana tree. Banana man, he walk-a-thon. Yo, there he is, the banana man. Holy. Oh. Dude. Hey guys, I'm the banana man. You wanna tune in? We'll do it now, before it's too late. Hands free. There we go. Hello, everybody. It's me, the Banana Man. I hope you are having a fantastic day. The Banana Man sends his regards. Now, let's get on to business, shall we? Tune in. Independent Incidentals right now. You can tune in on radiolaurier.airtime.pro. It's right up there. I can't point it with my tiny, stupid hands, but you can point. It's right up there. It's right up there. I'm looking at it right now. You feel me? You better tune in, buddy. I'll know where you live. I'll leak everything about you. That's a lie. I will never do that. Oh, I gotta go. Bye-bye. Tune in, please. Hello, everybody. Everyone. It is me, Dominick, in the show. It's called Independent Incidentals. I don't know if you heard about it before, but it's quite big. We got a whole lineup. We got everybody on it. Everyone's been on it. And you could be too. Just follow these steps, audience, and we can work something out. Also, the door opened like a horror movie, the Shining kind of thing. So let me close it real quick. I'll be back. Don't worry. I'm just gonna get some cigarettes. I'll be back. See, it wasn't that bad, was it? I know. You have attachment anxiety. I get it. It's fine. We understand these kind of things. I'm a very personable kind of person. You know what I'm saying? So, last where we left off, I promised a ULTRAKILL episode. Ah! I promised an ULTRAKILL episode to the passionate fans of ULTRAKILL. But unfortunately, I think life got a little bit in the way, didn't it? Life sunk its beautiful talons into me, and it's not letting go right now. I'm very, very, very burnt out, and I wish that I could sleep, but sleep is only for people who deserve it, and I'm not. Apparently, life believes I haven't deserved it yet, so I'm gonna continue working, slaving away at all these fun projects I have to do. Very fun, very exciting. Final midterm. This week is going to be the last week where I'll do any work, and then I'll sleep for the next week. I will open a portal to a random nebula and sit there for 6,000 years, which will feel like 6,000 years, but actually it's just a week past because of the time continuum. Look up Einstein if you're curious. Besides the point, Next week's gonna be interesting, though. We're getting a guest. How exciting. I won't spoil too much until tomorrow, because I'm probably gonna actually post something for tomorrow on the Instagram. You can follow me on Independent Incidentals on Instagram. Give me a shout, and let's find out what happens. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this, because it's a true boots on the ground interview with someone that I covered before. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, my attentions for the past week have been fractured into a million different itty-bitty tiny pieces. Now, why is that, you may wonder? Well, I'm glad you asked. The idea was the reading week. The reading week was supposed to be for work, which I probably already said last week. I don't remember what I said last week, so I can tell you. It was Columbo. I covered Columbo, right? Yeah, well, I covered Columbo. I was supposed to do stuff last week. Granted, I did, but I didn't expect everything to catch up the way it did. And lo and behold, I had to spend until it was 3:30 a.m. for one project, and 1:30 for the other project. It was the sequential Saturday Sunday trifecta there, and I am tired. I am running on 4 hours of sleep. Now, for some of you, that might not be too bad. Granted, I think the most drained episode that has ever been released, which actually hasn't been released as a recording of this, is the Stanley Parable episode. Spoiler alert for the little background. I think that was like the week after, or no, it was the week of my ex-girlfriend saying, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to ditch all contact with you and never talk to you ever again. And I was like, oh. And I was kind of just like, I was in the mud. I was pretty much depressed for that entire week, which was reasonable, understandable. I am better now. I also thank you for asking. But I personally, this is a mental fortress in a completely different way, I think. I have, how many coding assignments? Well, 6. There's 5 coding assignments. There's the midterm, and then there's going to be another quiz 3 weeks from now, and then there's like a mock interview thing for my co-op. It's all a mess. It's everything is happening at once, and I can't control it. I can't just line it up, you know? I have to work on stuff. I actually have to put effort in. But nevertheless, welcome back to Independent Incidentals. I can somewhat talk about ULTRAKILL. To be fair, I didn't necessarily slack on it. Unfortunately, everything else told me to slack on it. But I was able to get at least like 30 minutes of gameplay in. Unfortunately, I only played the Infinite Arena, you know. What is it called? The Cyber Grind. That's what it's called. There's a specific mode in ULTRAKILL called the Cyber Grind. Now, let me quickly describe ULTRAKILL for the people who don't know what ULTRAKILL is. Have you ever heard of Doom? I've talked about this before in the season, quote-unquote, season 1 version of the show. After Class with Dominick, if you want to watch all the archived episodes, then be my guest. I think it's like, what? 20? No. There's a good amount. There's like at least 20 some odd episodes. Go binge those if you're interested. One of those episodes included me talking about Doom and Doom shooters, which I enjoyed thoroughly because it was probably the most researched episode I ever released about anything in season 1. This is going to be another miscellaneous Missing Miscellaneous episode because I think Missing Miscellaneous is kind of like the idea of me hearkening back to that previous time where I didn't have to worry about, you know, deadlines and playing the game and actually concerning myself with the lore and the history and the foundational. I can just shoot the and I don't have to worry about it, you know? I don't have to worry about it. It's on the house for free, basically. I can just vomit words and no one can blame me. Because it's a new thing. It's a sub-series, guys. Come on. You love sub-series. You watch spin-offs all the time. I don't see the problem with this. It's just another spin-off, guys. Please don't tear me apart. We got the Banana Man. He's a funny mascot. You can watch him now. He's there. He's dancing in the background. You can see him. He's doing a little shimmy, a little shake. Oh. Anyway. ULTRAKILL, basically, the premise of ULTRAKILL, what makes ULTRAKILL so interesting is the idea of revitalizing that old boomer shooter genre. Because we look at stuff like Doom Eternal, for example. And while it still has the artifacts of what makes a Doom boomer shooter a boomer shooter, it doesn't actually exhibit the fundamental, like, feeling of a boomer shooter. It feels like Doom, right? It feels like real gore. It feels like real action. It feels like real, you know, demons that you're trying to kill and maim and etc., right? In ULTRAKILL is a completely different, like, it fits side by side by those old games back on the PS1, but it has that nice modern feeling, the aesthetic to it, right? And recently, the reason why I wanted to talk about this game in particular is because there was a new update. That facilitated a bunch of new graphics updates, quality of life stuff, etc., right? But one thing in particular was in the, like, aforementioned Infinite Arena mode, where you just fight hordes of enemies in this ever-shifting block world, right? There were 3 new tracks added. You might have heard of them, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Great stuff. They're just so good. This band, I love this band. I love this band so much. This band's great. I love it. But it completely shocked me when I heard Nonagon Infinity in the trailer, watching this, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the thing, man. Holy. and I was giddy. I jumped up and down. I smacked my chest a few times like a fun gibbon. It was like a fun gibbon like action and such. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying, audience? I was like, whoa. I was amazed. I was fascinated. I wanted more, so I quickly updated the game a full gigabyte later, and I played it, and I was like, you know what, this is fun. I just don't remember the controls. I was like, I don't, I don't have the time to learn the controls again and rekindle this past love of video game. And that's what it really is. It's a past love. I can't, I can't facilitate this lifestyle anymore. All I do is work. All I do is work. I don't do anything else anymore. I watch Critical Role clips on YouTube, and help me. I'm in the brain jail. Help. 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 I'm banging on the walls. I'm shaking my little cup, rattling tang 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 tang. Please get me out of here. You guys, why you leave me here? Where are you? It's so lonely in here. I can't see anything. Who turned off the lights? You know what I'm saying, audience? You know what I'm saying. So, that's basically all. That feels so. It feels wrong. I feel like I have cheated you in some way, which I have. To be completely frank with you, I have cheated you because I didn't give you what you wanted, which is the full thing, right? You wanted the full churro. I'm giving you half the churro. The other churro is falling on the ground. What are you gonna do about it, man? You can't pick it back up and eat it. That's gross. This is not life experience, by the way. This is not based on real experience. This is just a random metaphor I made up right now on the spot, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Anyway, the three songs they included in this cool new update were Supercell, which is off the Petrodragonic thrash metal album. There's the Dripping Tap, which is an 18-minute prog psychedelic rock song that goes on for 18 minutes, which is very fun, which I like having in the background sometimes when I'm walking around. And also the aforementioned Nonagon Infinity. Now, these songs in particular, I think they're good. I think they're good choices. But I don't. I wish they added like originals. That'd be cool. Am I wrong for saying that? Am I wrong for saying like maybe like it'd be cool if like King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard maybe like did a cool like bonus track, at least like a bonus track, like they gave him like a cool bonus track from one of the albums. I don't know. I'm just saying. It'd be quite cool, but they do fit thematically. I mean, at least Supercell and Nonagon Infinity. Though both of those are kind of like weird psychedelic rock. What would you call them? One of them's metal, which kind of already fits with the vibe, with the doom vibes. You know what I'm saying? With like the you know what I'm saying, like that kind of stuff. But also, Nonagon Infinity is kind of like that weird cultish, like ooh, mysterious, weird, like big egg, big egg. Have you seen the Nonagon Infinity music videos? Those are fun, but they're very weird because they're like kind of like in the mid ground of just look up what was it one thing called? There was an edit made by a fan who took together all of the different motifs inside of like 7 of their albums and weaved them together. Because the idea with King Gizzard, at least in their 2016, 2017 era, was that they took these different leitmotifs that they created and repurposed them to continuously add to what the fans call the Gizverse, right? Funny name, I know. So, for example, like there's one specific thing. There's a song in the 2015 album, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, that kind of goes trap door, that trap door's a trap, right? That's the song. That's the entire song. It's called Trap Door. It's a great song. But this motif, da That motif gets repeated in another album called Murder of the Universe in the the second disc, I believe, where they go into depth about this Lord of Lightning that's trying to destroy the world, but then the Balrog comes, and so the Lord of Lightning kills it instead, and then leaves, and then and a bunch of cultists are summon the Balrog, also get maimed in the process. You try to map this stuff out, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. I spent too much time in first year trying to figure this out, and it still doesn't make any damn sense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in their more current era doesn't really go for like interconnected albums anymore. Occasionally. But they still do what they call the concept album, which is like what the Beatles did. You heard of the Beatles? Do I need to dumb it down for you? Huh? That's what I thought. Yeah, the Beatles. They did concept albums like what was the Sgt. Pepper and stuff like that, right? That kind of stuff. With King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, on the other hand, though, they did like stuff like, you know, they do Flight B741, for example, which is a country blues album that they produced apropos of nothing, and they just like took the whole idea of riding on a plane, seeing the sights, taking the risk. You know what I'm saying? Real country stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real country boy stuff. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm here out with my pig. We go to the hog squealing contest, and we go ree. We go ree. That's not a soundboard, by the way. That's me. That's me right now doing the ree. It's great. I'm having a great time right now. Right. So King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, basically, very fun band. I like them a lot. Mainly on the premise that you can pretty much not predict what anything they're gonna do next, right? Now, I will say, there's this weird thing they're doing nowadays, because they're touring a lot in America, but there's also like this kind of like retreat, quote unquote, they're doing, where like it's like a little like pop-up amusement park thing. There's like little references, like each of like the little booths are references to like different parts of the band and like the overarching Gizverse. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't have enough money to go to there anyway, because it's like in America. Who cares? Who cares, right? But I'm like, are they selling out? Is King Gizzard selling out? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And I don't really care, because I just like their music. That's the fun thing. But it's not just them that I like, right? It's not just King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard that's the fun band to listen to. There's also other cool bands. Like, I've done this bit before, but please bear with me. Psychedelic Trumpets and also Tropical Form. They're both great bands. I like them a lot. I'm just going to refer to them as PPC for the first one and Tropical for the second one. I'm gonna call the first one Crumpets, because that just makes more sense. So Crumpets basically is like your titular. They haven't strayed from the formula of like the psychedelic, right? Like they're very indie, lo-fi. They like screaming a lot. They like the goopy guitar, that kind of stuff. Wah wah, that kind of stuff. I like it a lot too. It's very good. There's some that have already made the workout playlist. Because they just have like such a forceful amount of energy built in like one album. Oh god, my stomach is killing me right now. What just that? What was that? Are you okay? Do I need to bring you somewhere? Are you hungry? Okay. The other one, Tropical, is like more of an it's a noise band, right? A lot of the guitars are kind of like a slightly out of tune. The guy is like, you know, screaming the lyrics, doesn't really care. He kind of feels like he's drunk, but like also he's sending like a very powerful message through his music, right? Like, for example, one of the songs I've been listening to, it's also very funny because it has a different meaning, but like Goonstorm. Goonstorm. I can't say it. No, I can't go along with that bit. It's like when the AI is like, sorry, this prompt cannot be generated due to our community guidelines. And I'm like, oh. But then you gotta think about it, like what made you, what were you about to say? That the guardrail was eventually like, no, you can't say that. Either way, I think Goonstorm is basically talking about like the current day, like the political, like idealization of these people and the parade of like the people who support them without actually like thinking about it first, which is, I think, a very important message to say in this current age. But also, it's called Goonstorm, which is just very funny to me. Did that bother you, by the way? I knocked my water bottle into the microphone because I felt like it. Anyway, we're going to talk about funkadelic music in a second, like Herbie Hancock and also Lettuce, which also I've been listening to a lot. But for now, I'm just gonna play Goonstorm. I think I played Goonstorm once before, just because it was funny, and I was like, yes, that's funny. But we're gonna play it now, so you guys can have some fun. Also, this has been playing in the background the entire time. Are you kidding me? I don't know if you can tell right now, but I'm at my wit's end. I feel the fuse of the ticking bomb, like slowly. Like if my head was a bomb and the little, like there's a little like wick that was slowly burning. It's like right there as it about to impact. I'm about to scream into the microphone, and it's not gonna be pretty. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, audience, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, listen to Goomstorm. Have fun. What you think? What you think? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool, isn't it? I personally think. Look, each has their own taste, right? But to be fair, I've heard worse music that was more what's the word? Produced. I'm not naming names. I'm not naming names, but when I'm just saying, there's like a chance. There's always a chance when you show someone like a music, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool, dude." But in their head, they're like, "What is this? What is this music, dude?" That happened to me both ways. I was the person showing the music, and also I was the person. There were different instances, of course. There's different instances of what this was, but I'm saying like there was a time where I was the receiver of crappy music, and there was a time where I was the giver of crappy music. It's just a constant cycle of life. You can't escape it. You're always gonna give people bad stuff. It's how it works. You can't be right all the time. Either way. Either way. Either way. Either way. We're talking about Herbie Hancock now. That was the one I just played was Tropical, you know what. You can look it up if you want. And then the one I played at the very start of the show was a song called Chameleon by Herbie Hancock. I do love a good goopy synth. It's just such a good sound. Also, all the other like talented saxophone players and other stuff like that. But I just find it's just a nice, it's a groove, man. It's a groove. I forget who I was watching, but there's like this one clip back from like the 80s or something where it's just like, yeah, you just feel it, you know? He's probably high as hell, but he looked like he was having a good time. He was probably doing it before it was even legalized. That's crazy to me. That's a real one right there. Granted, I don't do drugs per se, but like I do drink alcohol from time to time, just as like as a fun thing. It's only in like company of good people. And personally, If I had the chance, I'd probably I would smoke a spliff with Herbie Hancock. I think I would smoke a spliff with Herbie Hancock. I think that's just what I would do. I think we would come up with. I think we'd come up with a lot of good material. I think him and I think would really workshop a lot. But the reason why this kind of comes up is because I've been listening to a lot of funk recently. There's like Lettuce, which is the more modern version. There's a few other ones that I forget the names of, but like the funk music is such a treat, especially when you just need to have something in the background, right? It's better than elevator music because it's more engaging, but it also can be just like in the background, and you can just not worry about it for a while. It's great. It's a fantastic time. The reason why this comes up is because I was playing a lot of funk music during the concert, the Canada Day concert, which I haven't brought up in a while. Last time I brought it up was on episode 0 of the show, right? I don't think I talked about it that much, but it's been like 8 months. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me it's been that long. 8 months since that concert. But I did play Chameleon there. I was the bass line the entire time. It is fantastic. I didn't understand it until eventually I understood it. It's like you don't get it until you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing that you have to experience rather than just learn from a book or a video or like from someone else, right? With the concert specifically, right? It was just on a whim thing. I joined in June because my mom said there was like a position available. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll join. Even though I was terrified as hell. And I was even more terrified when I walked in and everyone else was like extremely talented. Like extremely talented. They were like 60-year-old men and women. Well, woman. There's like two. One of them was like probably 30 in their like 30s, and one of them was like in their late 50s. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because like all these people were really talented. Like they probably had like 30 years, 50 years of experience playing this instrument, right? And I'm just sitting here, 19 years old, the youngest person in the band, probably by like half. Probably like you'd multiply my number by 2, and you'd probably get the second youngest member in the band after that. I was like, wow. Like, is that what I'm gonna do eventually? Like, am I gonna be like 65 and still playing the piano like that? That'd be sick, right? But at the same time, I learned a lot when I was doing that. It was like it was very informative to me, especially when I'm like making music nowadays, right? Because I'm looking at this sheet, and I'm like, oh, that's how you write that, right? Because obviously, like these are more like big band arrangements, not necessarily like actually funk related. Because with funk, you don't necessarily have to write stuff out like explicitly. You write like a 2-bar line with like the bow 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 bow. I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care what you think. I'm gonna keep doing it. You keep doing that over and over and over again, and you can just add on top of it, right? In the big band version, of course, there's still solos. You can add on. There's obviously improv, right? Which I had to do for Tequila, which was one of the last song we did, and I was like, I was terrified. I probably would have done better now because I have more experience, but that's besides the point. Looking back on it though, I'm like, on a whim, I wish I did more with it, to be honest. Like, I wish I asked them more questions. I wish I like asked them for like their experiences and stuff. That'd be really cool. Because I was nervous as hell. Like, I was like, man, do they just like? Cause there's obviously, unfortunately with like groups like that are that old, there's obviously gonna be a bit of drama. There's gonna be a bit of old people drama about like how this person isn't pulling up their slack and stuff like that. Like, But I was like, am I one of those people they talk behind my back? Like, am I one of those people that, But I don't think they really cared that much because they didn't have a piano to begin with. So anything I could contribute was great. And also anything that I did, the bar was extremely low. And when I surpassed it, they're like, whoa, that's crazy. Because I remember there was like this one song that was kind of explicitly for the piano, which was No Time to Die, which is the most recent James Bond flick. I don't know if you guys seen it before, but I haven't either. So I really should, but I don't have the time. But yeah, I think playing at it was at Jacuzzi Park. It was in Jacuzzi Park. It was like it's in Brampton, right? So it's like I think West Brampton, maybe like 40 people showed up, if that. The kids weren't really like paying attention to it. I was just like, half the songs I didn't really prepare for. Like, I didn't know how to play half of them, and the other half I kind of just like was following along as best I could, which was funny. And I think that they didn't really like that. But at the same time, it's a community band, so I don't think they really cared that much, which is kind of contradictory in a lot of ways. But you know what? Hey, they can say whatever they want about me. I did great, and I know that. In my heart, I know I did fantastic. Because at the end of the day, I only had like, what was it? I had maybe a month to learn 27 songs, and I learned maybe like 9 of them, and I think that's perfect. I think that's great. And we just like chilled for the rest of the summer. That summer specifically was so fun. Like, there was that, of course. Like, there was also discovering like uh there was also discovering my first love, and it's just beautiful, right? I find her on this texting app, on what was it? It's called Slowly, right? So it's like a pen pal app, right? I find her on there. We start talking. Great times. We play Stardew Valley every day. It was funny as well, because I was like, when we broke up, I was like, damn it, I was gonna get her for the I was gonna get her for the Stardew Valley episode, and now I don't have anyone to do it with. I'm pissed. But that's just the hill you die on, kind of, right? And it kind of also blends with like the more recent experiences. Like, I've been distracting myself. I had this crush on this one girl for a couple months previously, and I was like, damn it, it's like the feelings are there, but like when I'm actually talking to her, it's just a nice friendship. And then, like, in the background, I'm like, my hamster wheel's running. And I'm like, damn it. The crush is there, but when I'm talking to her, we're just friends. And I'm like, I just want to keep it like that. I just want to have a good friendship, right? So what I did instead is I downloaded Hinge to get my mind off of things. I downloaded Hinge. I think the main reason why I downloaded Hinge is just kind of like the idea. I downloaded a bunch of apps. I downloaded Bumble. Right? I didn't get any matches on that, which was really funny. So I just kind of like, I threw it behind me. I was like, yeah, this is useless. I'm not gonna do this. I downloaded simultaneously while I was trying out Bumble. I also tried downloading Tinder, and I was like, this is for a very specific. There's no judgment here, right? You do you. You figure out what you want to do in your life, right? But me personally, I don't have really that much room for just like one time things. Like, I think in the long run, it's less energy to put in to a long-term relationship than to try to like get all the things set up for one specific like night out, right? That's my opinion anyway. That's my opinion about it. Tinder is just not for me. I'm a long-term Terry, as they say in the business. Criticize me all you like, but I personally like a long-term relationship. This is a situationship. Microcosm has gone on for too long, personally. Besides the point, I think Hinge is like the perfect medium. Again, all these things, all these websites, all these apps are pretty much just trying to siphon money from their most desperate users. Oh yeah, you can amplify your profile by giving us $20 a week. $20 a week? $20 a week. Or that's insane to me. Who would spend $20 a week on a app that is specifically designed to enrapture you into spending more money? It doesn't make any damn sense. Because you can still buy, like, quote-unquote currency. Like, for example, Hinge. It's roses. And I'm like, brother, we're not I'm not buying no damn roses. I'm buying real roses, right? I'm not buying virtual roses. We're not going to that point. I don't care if it amplifies my profile by ×2, right? I don't even know what I'm doing with my profile. I need like a there's a joke going around. Like, a lot of people are like, damn, I need a lesbian to rate my profile picture, because it's like, rate my profile in general, because it's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, and I just need that role model in my life that can give a feminine perspective, but also likes women. I think that's probably the best. As a straight man myself, I think that's probably the best course of action going forward. I need to find someone who has those experiences, but also likes the same thing I like, and we can kind of hash it out that way. You know? Just like a review, a profile review. I think that's the best course of action right now. Either way, this date that I went on just like a couple days ago, I've been thinking about it a lot, right? Because at the end of it, it was pretty much just like flatlined, ghosted for a whole day. And at the end of that day, I was like, damn it, did I do something wrong? And she's like, sorry, I'm just not into it right now. Could someone tell me what that means? I'm just curious. I'm curious what they mean by I'm just not feeling it. Because it's like, what is that? Because it's like, I'm not necessarily desperate per se, but I would say that I am always engaged in that kind of chase, right? I enjoy it a lot, right? So when someone says they're not interested, I completely take that as like not a slight on me, but more so they weren't into me, right? I didn't have the appropriate characteristics that they would find interesting in me, and I'm like, what do I do with that? What do I what do I do with I'm just not into it? Is it something on my end? Is it just a luck of the draw? Sorry, better luck next time. Or is it something to do with the actual, something that she did that she didn't like really necessarily like, and she doesn't, or maybe something in her personal life. You can't really blame these things because I thought I did pretty well. To be fair, I thought I did pretty well. I was like, bar nine, I was like, damn, okay, cool. There's this game cafe store. We both like board games. We play pretty much the same genres of board game, and I'm like, that spot right there, I'll invite you. I pay for the whole thing. I make her laugh a lot. We've been playing these games. She's having a good time. Granted, the barrier is still there. I thought that was just like the first night jitters, personally. But I realized after the fact, in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's what she meant. She just was not feeling it. And maybe that's just the extent of it, Maybe it doesn't run deeper than that. Maybe it's just like, it's just a feeling that you can't really explain, that it just continuously is like gnawing at you, like it's just not here, And you just got to keep looking. As tiring as it is, you just got to keep putting in the work. To all the single ladies and gentlemen and all of them in between out there, I do wish you the best of luck. It's been 2 weeks since Valentine's Day, and I still haven't found a damn date. What am I going to do about that? Well, I'll tell you, audience. I'll tell you. I will instead I'll fall in love with my own work and my own projects and my own assignments. Especially the composition I had to make for composition class. Who would have guessed? I personally spent so much time on this specific composition. Again, I spent until 3:30 at night slaving away at it, day in, day out. It was gruesome. It was absolutely, my sleep schedule's ruined now. I can't sleep anymore, right? Because I still have to work on the damn coding assignments, right? These coding assignments are also brutal because there's like 20 different functions I have to implement. How am I going to get through all of these? I am pissed, but at the same time, they're easy enough, so I'm not going to complain too much, right? It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of time in, not a lot out, and I'm just tired. I'm tired, and I don't know if I'll be able to get all this done in time. So we'll see. If I keep spending 2 a.m. nights working on this kind of stuff, we'll see what happens from there, right? There's one more thing I wanted to mention. I remember on the first episode of this sub-series that I'm making, the Missing Miscellaneous, I talked about Off, the game Off, in a very brief but insightful way. Talked about the characters, talked about the setting, talked about what happens in it, right? A little bit of spoilers, right? Of course. If you want to watch it, go ahead. But be wary. Play the game first. It's free. The translation is completely free. And you'll be doing your knowledge, your brain will actually become more smart because you actually have the first-hand experience rather than relying on a second-hand source such as myself, right? That's how this works. They're making a remake. Oh, they're making a remake. When I saw it, it was released 2 months ago, and I'm like, how did I not see this? I thought I had my ear to the ground to this kind of stuff, but no. I looked it up, and I'm like, holy, they're making it for PC and for PlayStation. I'm not for PlayStation. What the hell am I talking about? Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, oh, that's really got me giddy. You know what I'm saying? Because the original creator, Mortis Ghost, is working on it. But there's also a bunch of people who are also working on it and making the game like 100% more. He has like a whole studio now. It's great. It's fantastic. It's like, so I think it was a Fangamer, the people working at Fangamer is working on this game. I don't know who that entails specifically. I don't even know. I thought they were just like a shop, like an online shop you can go to buy stuff. But I guess they also have like developmental stuff on the side. Like they can work on games, which is interesting. But also composers. Guest composer Toby Fox. I'm like, I didn't expect that. He's 100. He, to be fair, was inspired by Off. That was one of the main triggers to create Undertale, right? But in its inception, Undertale became 100 times more popular than Off, which is crazy to me, right? Because it's like Off already had a pretty big fan base. Underground. It didn't really have that much stay in like the mainstream, of course, but it still had, especially for Markiplier playing it, a few other YouTubers, and the Tumblr fan base. A lot of those people just kind of like bumped it up to like I think number 6 most talked game on Tumblr. First 5 being AAA games, which is crazy, right? So this game specifically not only is a remake and a polishing up of the original game, so it's probably going to have completely different play style. It's not going to be based in game or what was it, RPG Maker anymore, right? It's going to be a whole new system, which is so cool. It's just so cool, right? And additionally, there's going to be new scenes and new story. More story. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. Personally, I'm very excited. Because the original game was cool, right? In its inception. I think it perfectly, like, it succinctly was able to wrap up all of these kind of weird, esoteric ideas into one very tight game, right? Granted, a lot of the puzzles were too hard for me when I was a kid, so I had to beat it when I was like recently. When I was recently. But these games in particular are very exciting to look at. I'm really excited. Because 2025, look, it's already like quite the right? It's quite bad already. But like I think in the case of art and culture and media, especially video games, it's gonna boom. We're gonna see a lot of new developments, and I'm very excited for that. And I think Off is kind of like the starting point of that, in a weird way, you know? Because I feel like Off had this very small fan base that kind of was able to take the entire indie game market by storm without even having like marketing for it, which is very interesting. Same as the kind of thing with Columbo in a lot of ways. You look at these shows and like, okay, this was an old game slash show that was developed back a long time ago that didn't really get that much recognition at the start, but snowballs over the course of who knows how long. I guess Columbo was already popular at the start, but it died down after it was released, and then eventually when the new generation picked it back up, it got a whole new coating of paint, which is very cool, right? And it also helps that the original creator is still working on it. It is sad though. I played there was a fan made like extension or a entirely new fan made game that took place in Off, where you play as the guy, the cat. I forget his name again, but the first character you see in Off, besides the batter, right? You play as that character, but I believe he died in a car accident, which is just so devastating, right? Because imagine if you could see like the fruits of this labor, right? Being a part of this fan base for so long, and seeing this whole tapestry reveal itself. But you still keep these people in our hearts because at the end of the day, they created the whole menagerie of like the whole what would you I guess tapestry is a very good word for it. The tapestry of different games that are linked together. I have so many different passions, right? So many different loves of different games that nobody's ever heard of. And I hope that this show can at least shed some light on some of them. That is my dream for this show. I don't know if that'll take longer than what I have in Laurier right now, right? It could take more years than I already have. I could be out of university and still try to push this show. It's my own little passion project, and even if I don't have a lot of time to talk about stuff and research and do all this kind of stuff, I feel like it's still a very important part of my life. So that's just me, and I hope that you stick around. So I will see you in the next episode. I hope that you all have a fantastic exam, whatever exam you're working on right now, whether it be astronomy or perhaps history related, or perhaps even gender studies, or even perhaps math. Oh, yes, math. I'm sure you're doing a lot of math studying right now. You better get on that. I'll work on my little codes, and hopefully the midterm won't be too bad. I did terribly on the assignment, but the midterm won't be too bad, hopefully. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.